Welcome back to Research Recap, Domestic Violence Related to Crisis, Trauma, and Loss. This specific video is going to talk about impacts, reactions, and responses to domestic violence. And so this one is going to cover the biopsychosocial impacts, reactions, responses related to domestic violence. The bio impacts are going to be happening in the brain. So these higher reasoning, higher critical thinking, being able to learn, being able to grow, all those things are going to be turned off in the brain. And what's going to be hyper focused is the survival mode. So fight, flight, or freeze is going to be turned on, activated at the drop of a dime, because you're having to experience this, especially walking on eggshells with partners, living in your own household. It is very difficult. Psychological impacts are going to be afterwards anxiety, depression disorders, PTSD disorders, and then more than half of the women who have been seen in mental health settings or have been or being abused by in intimate partner relationships. Social impacts is isolation. So that's not only what the partner is wanting from the social aspect is nobody talk to them ever again, but also socially that's just going to happen naturally because people don't want to stick around for others that are experiencing domestic violence. They ask for help and then they go back to the perpetrator. So it is difficult for people to continue social support in situations like this. Cultural impacts. This is something that across cultures, men are dominating over women. This is politically, in jobs, physically, they're dominating over women. Specifically in cultures as Hispanic, Asian, Black cultures, there's a connection in families, in big families, and having that kind of social support. So something that you're going to see across those cultures is isolation happening first. What are some needs of the victim and perpetrators? This is interesting to talk about right here. Personal needs, relational needs. That's going to be getting that support back again. So saying, trying to mend relationships with the past people that you had, trying to explain, like, maybe this wasn't who I was, getting that social support back again. Community-based level, getting that counseling, getting the peer support, understanding that you're not alone and there's help to be had. Physical needs, obviously, is going to be safety and getting your basic needs. So financial, getting your food, water, shelter, getting that in. Biological needs are going to be rooted in psychology, knowing that your brain is not going to react the same way, you're not going to be the same. Perpetrators are going to need to be held accountable for their actions in the court of law and getting their own counseling in.